Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to the first racetrack showcase for the new iteration of the community verified program. This video is brought to you by my social media. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram or Facebook via the link in the description to make sure that you're always up to date and get extra content. So our first track, it is a city/hills track. I believe that this wasn't meant to actually be the first track in terms of the playlist order, but you know what GTA is like with playlist orders. It will mess it up even when you decide that you want the playlist to be in a specific order, so we're starting off well. But yeah, we're in the new iteration of the community verified program. We've got as I mentioned in last week's sort of reintroductory video where I talked about the details of the program in more detail, every month there's going to be one new video showcasing 15 tracks, 5 on every single platform, focusing on PS5, Xbox Series consoles and PC. All tracks made by the community, rated by the community and verified by the community. And we're going to see a damn sight better stuff than what we saw in last week's video with the now confusingly named Rockstar Community Series jobs. But yeah, I'm going to sort of... The idea with these sort of new showcases is it's to mainly showcase the tracks, right? So I'm not going to be as... Ooh, that looks very cool. I'm not going to be as sort of like detailed in terms of my giving my in-depth thoughts and criticisms about certain tracks. If I notice something, I'll talk about it. The testers have put notes for certain tracks just for me to have an idea, because I'm going into all of these tracks completely blind. I've never seen them before. I don't know how I'm doing so well in terms of being in the lead at the moment, but I got a good start, I suppose, and the Jester's pretty good in the city. Oh, look at this bridge. Very nice. And these are the sort of things you need to stand out these days, like custom sections that link different parts of the track together and give a new experience. Just, like, even if it's very well made, having just checkpoints around the map probably isn't enough for verification these days. But yeah, I'm not going to be sort of going too in-depth in comments and criticisms beyond like what has been identified or told to me by the creators to bring up. I'm just going to be sort of giving my first impressions on the tracks as well. I'm going to be talking about them. I'm going to be, like that bridge section, being like, wow, that is so cool. The whole idea is to let you guys experience these tracks. I want to get these tracks that are made by incredibly talented creators out there, for then all of you watching to be able to get and add to your game and experience for yourselves. So the links for all the tracks that we play are always in the description of the video. Obviously the PS5 tracks first. Oh, that's a nice little moment where you go under the bridge that people are going over. Yeah, the links for the tracks are in the description. PS5 first, Xbox second, and then PC third. Again, like I said last week, if you're on PS4 or Xbox One, some of these tracks might have been made on those platforms, but your mileage may vary whether the tracks will actually work for you. We are focusing on the new gen platforms now and the better creator features that are available there. We're aiming for sort of between 4 and 5 minutes for every single track, but this was a bit of a longer circuit with sort of nearly 3.5 minutes for a lap. So we made the decision to do 2 laps rather than doing 1 lap in a slower car like Rhapsody and Rhapsody level compact or something, which probably wouldn't have showcased the benefits of the track as well, but I think it still would have given a good showcase. So it's difficult in those longer tracks to know exactly what to do, whether to sort of stretch out 1 lap or do a faster 2 laps, but the showcase is a little bit longer than all the others are going to be. Again, we want to try and keep the time relatively confusing, that section. I got confused the first time, but I got away with it. We want to try and keep the time relatively brief for each of the showcases. I'm going to be cutting out all the stuff in between, you know, on the live stream. You're not going to see the lobby transition screens or whatever for the video, because we are now showcasing 15 tracks per stream, per video. But it is important to, you know, showcase the tracks as best as we can within that time frame. So we'll see. I think if we start getting like 5 or 6 tracks every week that stretch to 6 or 7 minutes, we're gonna have to maybe rethink. But if there's only 1 or 2 tracks where we need a second lap or something, because the first lap is just quite long, maybe we're okay doing it like this and just adding an extra lap on. So a little bit longer for this first track, and then most of them are going to be under 5-minute showcases. So you get to see the most important stuff. I've botched it. You get to see the most important stuff, and then you can add it to your game and check it out yourself. Really nice circuit to start us off though. A mix of city and hills. Custom section. God, I led for so long. I thought we were going to start off the community verified new showcases with a win, but not to be. I drove better on the first lap than I've done on the second lap. Well, I'm currently in my position, I suppose. But yeah, these showcases are taking place on Saturday mornings on Twitch. The first Saturday of the month is always going to be a new showcase, and then a week later it'll end up on YouTube. Well, second for life, I guess. I've had my position. Alright, we're starting with a karting track in the first showcase. We actually did a specific kart showcase at the end of the last iteration of the community verified program, but this is our first one for the new iteration, and the note on this one was that this is a very impressive creation. I think everybody there forgot that we were not doing the boost starts. That was something that we were planning, but the note on this one is that it's very impressive because it's really difficult to maneuver in sort of enclosed spaces in the creator. And I mean, I can see already this is a very enclosed space. Damn, it does feel like a proper indoor karting circuit. There were some really impressive kart creations in that specific kart showcase we did. I can't remember what week it was. It was like week 138 or 139 or something of the previous iteration. But damn, this is very cool. Especially with the sort of the uphill section as well, so we go, you know, on a higher level for a little bit. We're inside a warehouse, so it feels like a proper indoor karting circuit. Well propped and, you know, not difficult to know where you should go. Bit of a grandstand. This is very cool. It fits the location of like this warehouse. It feels real. It feels like this could be a real life thing. I can do a lap in first person. Yeah, this is very impressive. When you compare this to the go-kart track that was sort of Rockstar verified in the community series jobs that we played last week, like, now you know why I was so sort of, I wouldn't say necessarily harsh, but not that impressed by it when you compare it to something like this. The kart track from last week that Rockstar decided to showcase to the entire GTA community was basically just a load of checkpoints and a few random walls around the docks. In comparison to this, it's just nothing really, is it? Like, this is so impressive as a creation. But this is the kind of stuff that gets ignored by Rockstar, and this is why we do these showcases in the first place. To showcase the stuff that, for some reason, Rockstar won't. As a reminder, if you want your own tracks to be tested and checked out, all the rules, regulations, things you've got to follow, how the program works, how the links to the forms to submit your own tracks, it's all on brovie.com/verified. The link's also in the description. It explains everything for you. Oh, the cutback. Very cool. And there's enough corner variety as well. Like we've done what 5 laps now, and I still don't feel like I'm fully on top of the track in terms of how best to drive it. That's quite rare for a kart track, which often tend to be quite simplistic. Even got a little mini pit lane. Very nice. Chiliad Sprint. Note for this one was it's a fully custom track with some nice elevation, and like most other well-made custom tracks, it's based around some part of the map. Oh, I forgot about that. This time I forgot about not doing the boost. Damn. We'll get there eventually. So yeah, that was something that was mentioned. If you want to make a fully custom circuit, it can be helpful to build it around some part of the map. So we're sort of building, I guess this one's been built around this area of this mountain. I don't exactly know where we are entirely, but I think that makes sense, because one of the main issues you sometimes get with like fully custom tracks, at least that you see that, you know, Rockstar might verify as part of the community job series, or things that just will randomly get played, especially when people try to make real world track recreations from fully custom pieces. They just put a lot of custom stunt roads in the air, and there's just no defining characteristics. Oh yeah, it must be Chiliad, of course, because the name, it's in the name, isn't it? Yeah, Chiliad Sprint. Oops. Again, I don't know these tracks, so we're going into it blind. There'll be a mix of people in these lobbies that have maybe tested the tracks and know them already, and people who've never done them like me. But yeah, they're mostly just sort of a load of mediocre races because of the fact that there are a load of stunt race roads placed randomly to make some sort of layout in the sky, no defining characteristics, nothing to sort of make any one corner different to another corner. Often they're just a load of walls. No elevation. Elevation plays a big part in making a good track in general, but certainly a good custom track. And all these extras that we're getting on this one, you know, again, we have the elevation, which is really nice. We've got well-made, you know, good propping. It's all nice and smooth. A variety of corners. So we've got some longer corners, we got hairpins, we got all sorts of different stuff. These sort of grandstands and overhangs, fences and whatnot, that like they all sort of just add to the proper track feel. Like it just makes every corner feel a little bit different, and the track itself quite unique. Yeah, very nice. Finally remembered about that final corner. Oops. sometimes fully custom tracks can take a little bit more sort of getting used to in terms of learning the layout, because you don't have any sort of prior knowledge or idea of the road on the map or where you're going to go in general. Yeah, very nice. As far as like fully custom creations go, very nice example of how to do one properly to verification standards. And nice that I can use the Ardent as well. Almost got beaten to the line by the Turismo, which is faster in a straight line. Alright, we've got a Roval this time. We're at the airport. Bit of a left field choice with the Dukes for this muscle D tier race, but we'll see. Nice little grandstand section. Oh, that was close. So the note for this one was nothing too complicated, which helps with the general racecraft, which makes sense. Bold choice with the Vamos up in front. I suppose there aren't a lot of like bumps to send him flying off in the wrong directions. So maybe not a bad choice. I think I've made a bad choice. The Dukes is not good for top speed, and there seems like a decent amount of top speed sections. I was thinking the better grip that the Dukes has is going to help, and the speed carry in the corners. Usually airport tracks are quite traction oriented, but I wonder if there's an oval version of this track. Ooh, yep, there's Vamos happening. That is peak Vamos right there, because you can't be perfectly accurate on every single corner. Yeah, one of the things that I like about it actually is does it connect on the right? It definitely connects on the left from the oval perspective. I don't know whether it does on the right. I don't know whether they're because that's the pit lane, isn't it? Immersion ruin. Oh no, I think it can actually. I was going to say immersion ruined, but the pit lane is off to the other side of the actual oval, so you could do an oval around here. There probably is an oval variant of the track that has, I mean, one of the good things about that sort of thing is when it still has all of the infield stuff inside of it, so you've still got all the propping for the infield, you just happen to be racing on the oval. So I always like that kind of, you know, feel. But yeah, this is nicely done. Nicely made oval around the outside, sort of, as it was said, like the actual infield is kept relatively straightforward. Nice sort of grandstand sections and visuals. And interesting enough of a layout as well. Again, variety of corners and whatnot. The Dukes hasn't done me too badly in the end. I think the Ruiner might have been the right choice, but I almost chose the Ruiner, but I figured I'd mix it up a little bit. Yeah, nice, fun airport track. Bit of a different take as well with the Roval aspect. Alright, the last one for PS5, and then we'll move over to Xbox. Supposedly this uses a new kind of banking, first created by Quite the Rhino in the Content Creator Hub Discord community. I definitely recommend checking out the Content Creator Hub Discord for any actual budding creators. It's very important to get feedback on tracks and constantly iterate and things like that. Ooh. Damn, that looks cool. That's a bit of a showstopper section. But yeah, supposedly this new type of banking is progressive and uses less props than the conventional banking. Ooh. Short track, fully custom. That's a really cool section right here. I guess this is where the new type of banking is. God damn it. Alright, so he's just going to continue and keep that, is he? Okay. This is really cool. I think this was the right class to choose for the showcase as well. Super's C tier. Zentorno's T20s. I'm kind of enjoying using the Furia. I don't think I've raced it really since I tested it, at least on vanilla. I've raced it on Project Homecoming a few times, but these are the right cars for this track as well. This is good fun. This is good fun. It's with it being a short track, you sort of, but I mean, you know, that's kind of sometimes what you have to go for. You can see that so many props have been used to build this up that it necessarily probably has to be a little short, but especially considering it's not using any parts of the, you know, the map and the roads. Very cool circuit. Very pleasing visually. Fun to drive. Again, variety of corners. Some high-speed fun stuff going on as well. GT driver's pulled over because he's been starting up front for all of the races, I think, so. He wants to win another one. No! Oh! Just as I thought I was gonna get the extra overspeed right at the end on the Zentorno, I had the right line to overhaul him, I think. Every single time I've tried to do that in this race, I've been hit. I've been hit 3 times. Good track. Alright, now we're on to the Xbox tracks. First one is a track designed more for high-speed fun, potentially sort of hot lapping, and not necessarily for sort of championship racing event type stuff, but yeah, it was the cleanliness of propping is notable. That's what the note says as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But we got another 5 tracks to go through. This time all Xbox creations. Again, if you're on the Xbox One, chances are at least some of these tracks aren't going to work for you. Possibly all of them, if they've all been created on the Series X. But that's just how it goes. I mean, the Series X and S and PS5, they have 100 extra props to use now, 60 more fixture removals. And I very much need some cars on Xbox, because the best sedan I have to use for this race is the armoured Shafter V12, so I really need to update my cars on Xbox. Oh, so at least so that I've got sort of a current selection for the majority of tiers that we're going to be using for these races. I think the same is true for PC as well, to be fair. PS5 is my main platform, so it's the one where I actually have all my cars on. So we got a lot of sort of custom bits on this one. I agree, it is very clean on the propping. It's very sort of smooth and nicely put together. Missed it. This is going exactly like the first race on PS5 did, and it'll probably end exactly like the first race on PS5 did. Very nice, very smooth in like, even in the city areas. It's just very sort of smoothly and nicely done. And the full custom section, like it's a long, fully custom section with quite the variety of, you know, area and whatnot. Using sort of the real world, you know, like that outside area there, using that as part of the track. Bits of elevation, and it's all super smooth, no harsh transitions. Yeah, it's very clean, very smooth, just very, very well done. You should really make starter packs so people know which ones to buy and have a nice selection. Maybe I can think about making something like that, since I'm gonna have to buy some cars for Xbox to have them be updated. Maybe we could have like a budget starter pack, and then one that just gives you the best cars for every tier or something like that. Or ones that are going to, at least more often than not, allow you to be competitive. Hey, it didn't end like the first PS5 race. I actually got the win. Been a long time coming in this playlist so far. So this one, the note for this was that it only uses 200 props, so this was probably made on Xbox One. And again, like I said, because we're in that sort of transition phase of... Oh, I forgot about it. Because we're in that transition phase of switching to the new gen platforms, some submissions will have been made from, and tracks made on Xbox. Xbox One or PS4, but they are being marked against the more capable tracks that are possible to be made on the new gen platforms. But this one was obviously good enough, even with 200 props. But it also will probably showcase what could also be done with those extra 100 props, like there being some curb boosting opportunities still, and overtaking spots and things like that could be improved. That's what was said anyway, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Donington National-ish, so it's the national layout of the Donington track. Ish, anyway. GTA-ified. Feels pretty good, actually. Again, always better to not try to recreate these things one-to-one, but try to sort of make it with GTA in mind. So you're not just placing props as they would be based on the you know, the actual real world lengths of a straight or whatever. Yeah, this looks really good. This actually does feel like Donington. You see a lot of, I've said this many times in past showcases, but you see a lot of people just create real world Formula 1 tracks one-to-one, and they're just terrible because they're super boring, they're too long because the cars are a lot slower, they're too wide, there's just nothing to them. But considering this is only 200 props as well, yeah, an extra 100 props can be added to this. You could probably create the full layout of Donington with the hairpin. But it feels, that's the difference between this and those sort of other, you know, real world track recreations. This feels like Donington in a Turismo Classic in GTA. We're going a lot slower than cars probably would around Donington of this like level, so it's been made with that in mind. We've got the elevation change, which a lot of these sort of real world recreations don't take into account. Yeah, this is really nice. Actually works really well. I am sort of looking forward to seeing if it ever gets an update on to the 300 prop, like see what those extra 100 props can do, how it can be changed and improved slightly. Very cool. And the pit building and grandstand and everything. Yeah, very nice. Alright, old style track for this one. Making use of the old props, so it's sort of land race props, as well as the recently added race garages. This is a Supers E and F tier race, but because I don't have a E or F tier car, I'm stuck with a G tier car. Otherwise known as the only G tier supercar, the Bullet. So this is going to go well for me in terms of positioning, but that's not what it's all about anyway. It's all about the showcasing of the tracks, not the actual racing. I need to improve my cars on Xbox. So yeah, old style props, land race props that we had back in the day before the Stunt Creator was released. This is submitted as a themed circuit that basically only uses those style of props, no stunt props whatsoever. And it can be a big challenge. Like, I think it's something that some creators enjoy challenging themselves with, to see if they can sort of make a quality creation in a more restrictive environment. A lot less stuff to play with to be able to do what you need to do. You know, a lot of these, what are these called again? These platforms, are they platforms? They're normally meant for, you know, they're a prop for the sea. They floating platforms, I think they're called. But they used to be used in the early days before the Stunt Creator was released to smooth out certain sections of road before road smoothing became sort of a standard practice because of stunt road sections and whatnot. And we're seeing it obviously a lot here, utilizing those props to level out the road, extend the track, as we saw there. Oh, that's missed. I'll respawn. That's a bullet problem, that one. Didn't have the grip to stick it where I needed to. Yeah, I think these sort of tracks, these old style prop tracks, they're never going to be the sort of thing on these creator showcases that give that wow factor. But they're always a sort of a really interesting thing to look at, to sort of see how things can be done, and you know, respecting the ability to create such a smooth and good creation in such a restrictive way. So they're always cool to drive. Yeah, it's more like a challenge creation. Like, theoretically, this is a track that was possible to make on old gen. And when I say old gen, I mean Xbox 360, PS3. Because the props are all from that era. Obviously, in practice, it wouldn't have been possible because the prop count was like 50 on the original gen. I don't know whether we got to 100 props on old gen or whether that was only on when we went to PS4 and Xbox One. I can't remember whether the 100 props was added on old gen as well, but either way, there's probably more than even 100 used here. But at least certain parts of this track could have been created on 360 and PS3. And when you consider the quality of the tracks that we used to race with back then, you know, having something that would have been like this, even if it was a shorter variation of it, to fit in with the prop count, you know, would have been really, really good. You know, if we had this section, for example. Yeah, very cool. And I didn't DNF in my bullet. I need to get a car for every tier, really. Alright, this is our last sort of normal track for the Xbox Showcase. We do try to mix it up with the 5 tracks that we have selected. For example, we had the go-kart race in the PS5 selection. We've got a rally race coming up. It's good to have a mix of different track types and different again, there's different submission options for those who are looking to submit tracks, and they're all explained on bruvy.com/verified. Make sure you submit correctly. So this is a C tier sports cars race, but I don't have a C tier car, so I'm using the D tier 770, but it's close enough. Sports is pretty close, and it's got good top speed, so certainly better than that Penumbra FF. And this one, the notes for this was, this is just a good example of tidy propping and the quality of transitions expected at the top level of track creation. Like that, for example, very smooth. You don't see, in all of these creations that we'll see, you'll never see a like a harsh transition between stunt road and regular road, or 2 different stunt road pieces. It's just, you're never going to see it, because the better creators know how to use multiple roads for one certain section to make a smooth uphill incline or downhill incline or whatever. Like that. Very nice incline, very nice descent. And yeah, a really good sort of, just a good quality city track. Nice transitions, keeping the sort of city track feel. So we do have plenty of city roads. I like that little ridge section. Custom road section as well. That takes us into the storm drain. Links two different roads together in a unique way. This is a good example of sort of the level that's needed for community verification at this point. You need some unique stuff like this as well to stand out. Has to be well propped. And you know, when it comes to the ways that you can do all this, Content Creator Hub Discord, you know, just being part of the creator community and doing back and forth, and I'm sure they've got all sorts of tutorials within that community as well to explain how these things are done. Very nice, very clean. Alright, last track on Xbox is a rally stage, a point-to-point rally, so we can get a direct comparison between this and the point-to-point rally race that we did last week on the community jobs showcase that Rockstar decided to put out. We'll see if this one's any better. Obviously it's a sports classic rally rather than a regular rally, a sports race rally, which I have the Omnus for, but I don't have a Retinue or a Silvestre on Xbox, so I've taken to using a stock Retinue Mark II, hoping that that's at least going to be somewhat closer to a custom fully upgraded regular Retinue. So it doesn't seem like I'm too far behind in terms of pace, at least. They are outpacing me. A custom, and obviously a fully upgraded car, is going to be quicker than a stock car by about 4 or 5 seconds. But the Retinue Mark II is quicker than the regular Retinue, so it's kind of, it's not evening out, but it's at least a little bit closer. But the Retinue Mark II gets a lot of its speed from being slammed to the ground as well, so I'm missing out on that a little bit as well. But it, again, doesn't matter. I'll get some more cars on Xbox and PC for the next showcase next month. It's been too long that I've been sort of out of it. Need more variety now. But yeah, this is just a good example of a good rally stage. You know, well propped, decent length, interesting roads and stuff like that, according to the note anyway. So we'll have some good fun with it. And to be honest, already in comparison to that point-to-point rally race that we did last week, the community verified, I'm getting mixed up now, the community series job that Rockstar put out there and verified themselves, it's just night and day difference already. Like, this actually uses proper roads. It actually feels like a rally. It's not just a lot of random ugly stunt props haphazardly put across the map. And you've got to drive through a lot of bumpy mountain passes and sections. And yeah, this is cool. You don't get anything as inventive or fun as that in that previous race. Non-contact was a good idea, to be fair, for this one. But considering it's a rally stage, it kind of makes sense to do non-contact things, since you can't really do a staggered start like with the Project Homecoming rallies. It's funny how we've already had examples in this first showcase of community verified tracks that directly correlate to tracks from the community job showcase from last week, and just significantly better versions of the same idea, like the go-kart track, this rally stage, some of the fully custom tracks that we had, like that short PS5 circuit. Like, Rockstar could have easily made all 10 of these jobs that we've seen so far community series jobs, and it would have been so much better than what they actually showcased. But that's why I'm here, to showcase these jobs, so that for those who care about the good quality creations, you can get them. You can add them to your game. Again, links are all in the description. You can bookmark them and I'll host them up and play them. And get some actual decent experiences. This is so much better than the tracks from last week. Do you know what? It's fun to have this back again. It's fun to be back here, doing the community verified program again, seeing awesome track creations from the community, tested and verified and made sure that they're awesome track creations. It's been a long time. We stopped doing the PS4 variant and the Xbox One variant for a while, expecting Expanded and Enhanced would give us new props. We had to wait a little bit longer for that, but we got it in the end. And now the final 5 tracks on PC this time. I'm going to have the same problem that I had on Xbox, where I don't have the right cars. So we got people in Previans and whatnot over here, and I'm going to be in an Exemplar, but hey, I'll fix it for the next one, hopefully, if I remember and get the time. So old style track, this one again. So, you know, once again, the problem is PC, it doesn't have the all the new prop niceties of PS5 and Series X, because PC still doesn't have the Expanded and Enhanced update, and now that also means that it doesn't have 300 props, and it doesn't have 100 prop removals, which is really annoying, because there's no reason why PC shouldn't have those things. And there's no reason why PC shouldn't have the Expanded and Enhanced update in general with the HSW cars and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's getting really annoying at this point. I can imagine for the people on PC, it's even more annoying. At least I play the game most. I don't play vanilla GTA on PC anymore, because of, you know, the modders issue and all this kind of stuff. If I'm on PC and playing GTA, it's going to be 5M. But for those who do play GTA on PC, it's annoying that isn't available, because there's no reason why it shouldn't be, really. But I will be going on PC to do these showcases, and one of the benefits that PC does have, even though the modding is a problem for PC, it's also sometimes a benefit for PC, especially creators who can sometimes utilize PC magic, as we call it, to have access to props that you can't get access to on the consoles or under normal gameplay, and just in general be able to do certain things that you can't normally do using the dev creator with all those features that haven't been officially released and things like that. So it's a double-edged sword, I suppose. But yeah, not having, you know, that having only 200 props instead of the new standard, which is 300, only having 40 fixture removals, which is the same as old gen, instead of the new standard, which is 100. It is a shame that PC doesn't have that. But we're still going to see some incredible tracks anyway. We always have on these showcases when we've done PC races. And this is a good old style track again. We saw an old style track relatively recently with the Xbox set. And here's another one. Again, showcasing what you can do with those old style props. And to clarify, I think it was only 50 props that you could ever use on original gen Xbox 360 and PS3. I think the 100 prop increase only came into account for new gen, and then we got 150, I think, with Cunning Stunts when the Stunt Creator was released, and then 200 very late in the life. And now we've immediately got 300, pretty much. Well, not immediately, but pretty quickly got up to 300. A year after Expanded and Enhanced was released. Almost, anyway. A lot of the things, for me, that have happened in terms of updates for the Expanded and Enhanced versions of the game on PS5 and Series X over the last year, those are things that I kind of expected would have just come with the Expanded and Enhanced version of the game. We've had to wait a little bit for updates to get them, like the increased prop usage and Ardent being raceable. Oh, sorry, Sins. Oh, I mean, I couldn't turn anymore. But yeah, they're getting there, I suppose. They're starting to work their way through that Expanded and Enhanced wish list that we made before it came, but still PC doesn't have it. Fun little layout, this one, though. And with old style props, you can't really notice. Doesn't really... The only thing that's sort of made really lacking is a bit of like a custom road section. But apart from that, you can't really notice that it's old style props. You know, you can race just as well around here than anywhere else. And speaking of what I was talking about in that last race, here we are on Cayo Perico, which you can't make tracks on under normal circumstances. Rockstar did release a few Cayo Perico races, but yeah, they still haven't added it to the creator. Whether they ever will or not, who knows? But with the beauty of PC magic, PC creators in the know can make their own tracks. So we're doing a rallycross track around Cayo Perico. We're all going to do one Joker lap during this race. I think there's 4 laps, and there's a Joker lap somewhere, but everyone's got to do one Joker lap during the race. Ooh, nice custom section. Again, this is the sort of thing that the Rockstar Cayo Perico tracks were missing. You know, they were just restricted to the roads of Cayo Perico, which there aren't that many, but as soon as you put it in the hands of talented creators who can make completely custom roads and brand new sections, you suddenly have a good base to work with. I'll do my Joker immediately. So the Joker lap in a rallycross format is a longer version of the lap that everybody has to do once during a race. So I'm in the lead of those who've done their Joker laps, and the idea is I'll hopefully be able to put in some quick lap times, catch up to those in front, so that when they do their Joker laps, they'll come out behind me. I feel like this is the best example of a rally track or rallycross track around Cayo Perico that I've seen so far. Okay, this is the problem with taking an early Joker lap if you come up against traffic. There was a big gap originally, but that's disappeared. But yeah, the fact that we've got like this nice little bit of track extension, utilizing some of the less restrictive roads around Cayo Perico, I would say. these are some of the better roads to actually be able to drive and race on, because they are relatively wide. Okay, a lot of people have gone for their joker laps on this lap, so it's only the leader that hasn't, and I have come out in second place, which was a position better than where I was when I went in for my joker lap. God, I love the Omnis. I'm not driving it particularly well, I don't feel, at the minute, but yeah, this is good. I think this is the best Cayo Perico. We've done a few Cayo Perico tracks. We did a few in the previous iteration of the community verified program and the showcases there. Yeah, but I think that was in the early days of creators getting access to Cayo Perico. Obviously, it takes a bit of time to, learn how best to utilize some of the roads in racing situations and track creation. I think we've sort of gotten to that point a little bit more now, because this is a really nice little rallycross track. Good length for a rallycross race as well. There we go. That early joker has actually helped me. Just got to fend off this gaggle of cars behind for one more lap. Going to be difficult though. I can't get into the flow with the Omnis. It's very rare that I can't do that, but I can't do it right now. The races don't matter when it comes to these showcases. It's all about showcasing the tracks, but this has been a really good race. Oh no! That was a panic horn. That wasn't you did a bad thing. I think he's backed off thinking he did a bad thing. That wasn't what that was meant to be. That was a total panic horn. I think I got lucky to hold on to that, to be honest, but what a great little track for a rallycross race. Back to the regular tracks. I think we've got 3 regular tracks left to go, so no more rally or stunt or anything different like that. Although all of those are available to submit, and we'll probably see all of them during the course of the community verified program, over time anyway. This one, the notes for this was it's just a well-made, flowy circuit around the casino. I'm expecting some sort of like, I don't think I hit him from lag there. I'm expecting some sort of nice transitions. The note also said that the Neon's having neon problems. Oh, and I got caught up in it. Rip. God damn it. The Neons always start so well because of their acceleration, but yeah, trying to make them last is difficult. But yeah, the difficulty of the track isn't that high, so it's more of a sort of playlist track than something that you would use again for like a high level event type race. In terms of, I think the thing that you want for those kind of races is variety of corners. You know, hairpins, chicanes, big braking zones so overtaking can happen. This seems like it's got a lot of sort of faster, more flowy corners, and that's absolutely fine, but obviously it just changes the nature of the circuit and what it would be best used for. This bridge crossover section is really cool. Like the bridge creation itself, but then the fact that it crosses over the other part of the track. Using the dog track as well. Oh, and it's that section that goes in and out of the, oh, that's there, so that we go over the bridge section but under the, that's a really cool little area. That I really like that. You go over and under the same section, and that acts as the transition into and out of the dog racing track. This is a C-tier sports car race. I actually have a C-tier sports car on PC. Can you believe it? I think I've got a better selection of cars on PC than I do on Xbox, but both of my non-primary characters are pretty lackluster in terms of cars at the minute. Yeah, nice track. It's nice to drive. Especially, I think the Schlagen GT was a really good pick in terms of driving experience, enjoyment. Nice and smooth. Again, something I kind of like to see. We've got certain parts of the track smoothed over, which again is it's becoming more common. But there's still areas that are bumpy and, you know, quintessentially a city type of experience. So tracks in the city tend to be bumpy and have curbs and things like that, and I don't think you want to always remove those entirely. It's nice to smooth out some of them and make some areas a little bit smoother, but you don't want to do it everywhere. You don't want it to just become a custom track that happens to be around the city. So this strikes a nice balance, I think. Yeah, that bridge section is really cool. It's a pretty nice layout as well. Yeah, it is probably more appropriate for like a playlist race. But you can have a lot of fun with that still. I think I'm not the only one that doesn't have the right cars for certain tiers. Really nice set. Oh, bollocks. Botched it right at the end. Didn't lose a position though. Didn't have the chance to gain one going to the line though. Yeah, what I was going to say was really nice elevation. Sort of in this section coming into and out of the dog track. Very nice. So as I mentioned earlier, all the roles and how the whole community verified program works in great detail is all on broughy.com/verified. But the short version is that all the tracks are tested by a number of creators. Damn, the Inferno's got a good launch there. Did I get the boost? I don't think I did I? I know. Anyway, all the tracks are tested by experienced creators, given a score from 1 to 5. A track will only get a score of 0 if it's deemed illegal submission or, you know, submitted wrongly or something like that. And the track has got to get an average score of 4 or higher to be considered community verified. I'm not going to focus too much during this new iteration of the program on scores and telling you whether a track got a score of 4.1 or 4.5 or something like that. All of these tracks are good enough to be verified. Some of them might be able to have further improvements made to get their score closer to a 5, but no track's ever going to really be perfect, and being good enough to be verified is all that we care about, and showcasing the best of what's here. The finer nuances when you get into the sort of the difference between a 4 and a 4.5 and a 4.7 is very small differences, but it's very difficult to get very high scores. And you can see all the scores for all the tracks on the full spreadsheet of all the submissions anyway. So if you've submitted something and you want to know how your track did, you can do that. Again, it's linked on rugby.com/verified. There's a spreadsheet that contains all the submissions, all the verified tracks, and links to everything. But this track got a score. The times where I probably will talk about scores is if a track has scored specifically quite high. So the last track was a 4.75, and this track is a 4.89, which is one of the highest rated tracks. I'm not doing something in the Infernus. It's probably something to do with curb boosting or brake boosting enough. I'm guessing that's why I'm slower than these two Infernuses. But anyway, yeah, this track is one of the highest rated tracks since West Mirror GP back in the day on the PS4 era. And yeah, it's a very, very well made creation. It's so difficult to, you know, get those scores higher to a 5 because you've got to have, you know, multiple testers think it's good enough for a 5, which means it's absolutely perfect and nothing can be improved, but also not have very many, or if any, people think that even one thing could be improved and it's good enough for a 4.75 or a 4.5, which is still an incredible track, you know, but maybe there's one little thing that one person doesn't quite like about it. So yeah, whenever there's sort of most tracks that you see are going to be in the 4.1 to 4.3 range. It's kind of standard for tracks that actually get verified. There might be a few tracks that sort of that scrape in to verification with like a 4.02 or something like that. I might mention those because then I can talk about the ways that it could improve to get a little bit better. But yeah, I'll also mention when there's specifically very good tracks and very high scoring tracks. And yeah, when you consider that this is, you know, city circuit, it is quite difficult to make such a decent creation like this in the city. Nice smoothing, good layout. We have some hill section as well, custom created sections linking things together in new ways. No problems that I can see in terms of, you know, bad props used with bad hitboxes, giving us a fresh experience. This is like ticking all the boxes really. So I can see why it got the score that it did. I have underperformed in the Infernus. It's been a long time since I drove it, to be fair, but considering there's two Infernuses out front, disappointing for me. Although there's also people who know the track, I'm sure. Well, yeah, one of them created it, so. And the last track for this showcase this month is another city track. Many unique custom sections, great smoothing and tricky corners is the note for this one. So yeah, this is the last one. I'm in a car that is a little bit too fast for the tier that we're meant to be racing with, because we're meant to do Sports Classics B and I don't have a B tier Sports Classic car on PC, so I've pulled off a little bit. I guess it'll be a bit embarrassing if I'm in a quicker car and I still can't win. But I'll not finish. I'll not finish the race. That was really cool on the left. But we'll see what I can do in the meantime. So we're getting a little bit more PC magic with this one already with some of these cars. Some of these vehicles on the outskirts of the track. I've not seen that before, actually, even on some of the like PC tracks that we've done. What was that all about? This is unique. Cherno bogs, tanks. There was some sort of vans and things earlier on in the lap. I need to look at those again next time around. Yeah, definitely some props that aren't available in regular regular creator on vanilla GTA without the use of some help. Oops. Okay, Liosa is one of the testers, has played all of these tracks, and is just generally quicker than me anyway, so I guess I am going to be a little embarrassed because I'm not able to win in a quicker car. So yeah, hopefully... Oh, okay, that's where we're going. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the showcase this month. Again, there's going to be another one of these every month. Well, like I said, we'll always be doing the showcase. Oh my god, he's gone. There's going to be a showcase every month on the first Saturday, early morning Saturday stream on Twitch, and then the following week it'll get uploaded to YouTube. All the links for all the tracks that you've seen in the description. Maybe some of them have been helpful to those of you who are creators. Even if it's not on your platform, you can at least get some inspiration, see how things are done. I've never seen that with these cars before. It's really cool seeing those. Being able to have cars on the side of the track is a pretty cool sort of immersion experience. That should just be allowed to be a thing. So yeah, the links for all the tracks are in the description. If they're on your platform, if any of them have taken your fancy, by all means add them to your game, play them. You go to the pause menu, GTA Online, bookmark jobs, well, jobs, bookmark jobs, and then just host them up from there. Yeah, there's been some nice tracks. I'm excited that we've started up with this process again. I'm pretty happy with the way that the things have gone in terms of the stream and being able to do, you know, 15 tracks in a couple of hours on the stream, and then that'll obviously be shortened down to the video. I think this is just a better way to do it. We're getting to see a lot of tracks for every platform. There's always going to be something for you in these videos, depending whatever platform you're on. Even in the early stages, if you're still on old gen PS4 and Xbox One. That's the only one that I've made that same mistake twice now. But yeah, nice track, really cool little features, good city circuit again with some nice smoothing. It's just, again, just being some high quality creations all the way through, and Rockstar should be making these the community series jobs rather than the stuff that they actually do. But at least we're giving the creators some recognition, as much as I possibly can anyway, from these videos. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed. Check all the info down below in the description.